Imagine it's the middle of the Ice Age. The sun has disappeared behind the horizon. The temperature is dropping fast. Your small group has gathered around a fire, hoping it will be enough to keep the cold away for one more night. Beyond the circle of light, darkness stretches for miles. And somewhere out there, you hear them. Wolves, dozens of them, watching, waiting. If you were a human living 30,000 years ago, wolves were not cute. They weren't pets. They weren't companions. They were predators, fast, intelligent, and perfectly adapted to survive in a world that killed humans every day. Yet somehow, those same wolves would eventually become dogs. Not only dogs, our closest animal companions. Today there are nearly 1 billion dogs living alongside humans. They sleep in our homes, ride in our cars, comfort us when we're sad, protect our families, and somehow went from terrifying hunters to animals wearing birthday hats at children's parties. So how did that happen? How did one of humanity's greatest threats become one of humanity's greatest friends? The answer begins with leftovers. Life during the Ice Age was incredibly difficult. Humans lived in small nomadic groups. Every day was a struggle to find enough food. A failed hunt could mean hunger. A harsh winter could mean death. But even during difficult times, humans left scraps behind. Bones, skin, bits of meat. To a hungry wolf, a human camp looked like an opportunity. At first, wolves stayed far away. The cautious ones watched from the darkness. But eventually, some wolves began taking risks. Not all wolves were the same. Some were more aggressive, some were more fearful, and a few were simply curious. Those curious wolves crept closer to human camps, close enough to grab leftovers, close enough to benefit from human activity without becoming prey themselves. Generation after generation, those calmer wolves had an advantage. They gained access to food with less effort. They avoided dangerous hunts. They survived. And survival changes populations. Over thousands of years, wolves that tolerated humans became more common. The aggressive wolves disappeared. The calmer wolves thrived. Something remarkable was happening. Without realizing it, humans and wolves were beginning one of the most important partnerships in history. Scientists have seen something similar happen in modern times. In 1959, Russian geneticist Dmitry Belyaev began a famous experiment using foxes. He selected only the friendliest foxes for breeding. Nothing else. No training, no special treatment, only friendliness. The results shocked researchers. Within a few generations, the foxes began behaving differently. They wagged their tails, sought human attention, and acted much more like dogs. But their appearance changed too. Their ears became floppy, their faces became softer, their tails curled. Even patches of white fur began appearing. Simply selecting for friendliness transformed both behavior and appearance. Many scientists believe early dogs may have evolved in a similar way. The first proto-dogs probably didn't look exactly like modern wolves. Nor did they look like modern dogs. They existed somewhere in between. Less intimidating, more social, more willing to stay close to humans. At first, humans likely tolerated them. Then they began noticing advantages. Wolves could hear danger long before humans could. They could smell predators from incredible distances. They could track animals across terrain that humans struggled to navigate. A wolf near camp became an early warning system, a hunting partner, a valuable ally. Both species benefited. Humans gained protection. Wolves gained food. The relationship grew stronger. Thousands of years passed. And eventually, wolves became dogs. The first domesticated animal in human history. Long before sheep, long before cattle, long before agriculture. Dogs were already beside us. As humans changed, dogs changed too. When farming spread across the world, human diets became richer in grains. Remarkably, dogs adapted. Modern dogs can digest starch much more efficiently than wolves. Their evolution followed ours. They weren't simply living beside humans, they were evolving with us. And then something even deeper developed. A bond. Research has shown that when humans and dogs look into each other's eyes, both release oxytocin, the same hormone involved in bonding between parents and children. Dogs evolved to connect emotionally with humans in a way wolves never did. They learned to read our expressions, understand our gestures, and respond to our emotions. In many ways, dogs became specialists in understanding people. Some researchers believe dogs may have helped humans become more successful hunters. Others believe dogs helped protect early settlements. Whatever the exact reason, one thing is clear. Human history would look very different without them. But perhaps the most touching evidence comes from an ancient grave discovered in Germany. Inside were the remains of a man, a woman, and a dog. The burial dates back roughly 14,000 years. Researchers discovered the dog had suffered from a serious illness during its life, an illness that would have required weeks of care. Someone fed it, protected it, helped it survive. Think about that. Ice Age humans struggling through one of the harshest environments in history still chose to care for a sick dog. Not because it was useful, not because it helped them hunt, but because they cared. That may be one of the earliest examples of the human-animal bond ever discovered. A friendship preserved for thousands of years, all because a few wolves became slightly less afraid of humans. There was no grand plan, no moment when someone decided to invent dogs. Just cautious animals approaching campfires, shared survival, mutual trust, and thousands of generations slowly transforming fear into friendship. Tonight, somewhere nearby, a dog will curl up beside its owner and fall asleep feeling safe. A simple moment. Yet that moment is connected to a story that began tens of thousands of years ago under Ice Age skies. A story that changed both species forever. And perhaps that's the most remarkable part of all. We didn't just domesticate dogs. In some ways, they domesticated us too. Before we end, here's today's question. If you could travel back 30,000 years and meet one of the very first dogs, would you trust it enough to bring it back to your campfire? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the ancient world, don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories from human history. Until next time,